Hello, I am back today with a one last video, I hope, and a testimony, okay? Testimony means test, okay? I'm being tested. Now, I tested myself the first time. This second time, let me just tell you why I'm telling you this. My granddaughter she used to watch a TV show called Stranger Things, and it reminds me of strange things. So I was making a business call. Okay, thank you, lights, camera, action. I was making a business call. Come back on. And I waited on the phone for at least 10 to 15 minutes, maybe more. And the person answered the phone and they didn't say anything. I waited. And I knew they answered because some music had been playing and the music stopped. And there was nothing in the background, and then I could hear a little something every now and then. So I knew that someone was on the other line. So you know what I did? What God gave me the mind to do. And I'm talking about God, okay? He gave me the mind not to get mad, but to pray for that person. First, I was just, let me tell you, this lasted about 5 phone calls, honey. Listen, I think the first time I just talked. I talked and I went ahead. Honey, I explained what I was calling about. I was telling the person that I couldn't hear them and asking them could they hear me because I knew that someone was there. Nothing. They didn't say anything. It's lasted for a while. I can't remember if they hung up on the first call or I hung up, but I called right back. Okay. Be persistent. I called right back. And because, I don't know, I'm in a different frame of mind today, I wasn't mad. I was just wondering, this is unusual, what's going on? So when I called back the second time, I had to wait again. Probably even the same amount of time or longer. The music played. I was doing something else while the music was playing. Someone answered. They didn't say anything, but the music stopped and I guess they picked up the line. I knew someone was there. So I began to talk to the person and I started to pray for the person and thanking the Lord for the day. And I was saying, I don't know if this person is playing a game, if they're laughing on the other end of the line, or if they're going through some things and they feel like they just can't make it. I just thank the Lord for us seeing this year and seeing Friday. You know, when you on a job, honey, you have to deal with phone calls and people all day long, and there's a shortage of workers and COVID. Have you heard that there's flu Rona, a combination now of the flu and COVID? Oh my goodness. So when you have a job and it's demanding and you're dealing with the public and you have a shortage of people, honey, you might feel like, Lord, I'm going to pick up this phone, and instead of, you heard the saying, if you don't have anything good to say, don't say anything at all. Maybe that's what was going on. So I was just praying. I started praying, thanking the Lord, and just asking the Lord for forgiveness and to help the person. And honey, oh, no. The second time the phone was answered, but nobody said anything, I sang, honey. I sang to him. I sang, who was that? Smokey Norfolk, God is able. Yeah. Tell me who can make a mountain move out of my way, hoping it would move them to talk to me. I think they liked my voice and thought my singing was pretty nice because they didn't hang up on me. I hung up that time because I finished the song. So I called back the third time. That's when I started praying. Okay, so I introduced myself on the first call. Isn't it strange? I sang on the second call. The third thing to do was to pray. Because, honey, listen, I was trying to get a breakthrough. This is like business stuff with business and something I desperately needed to take care of, okay? Somebody saying, yeah, it's something I needed really to take care of. So I didn't have, listen, I had to be persistent with this. So the third time, I started praying like I just described. And after so many prayer requests and comments, they hung up. So I decided to call back again. And I finished my prayer. I sure did. I picked up right where I left off, and I was nice about it. Isn't this the strangest thing you've ever heard? Like one of the stranger things in life? And this time I prayed that not only God will help this person, whatever they're going through, but I said to this person, may what you are doing, may how you are handling this call and me on this call be multiplied unto you today, this weekend, in your when you're reaching out to someone to get help, may it be multiplied to you in your relationship. May this what you're doing now be multiplied unto you, honey. I sure did, and not out of spite. I'm just letting you know, honey. You have the power to speak things, and may it be multiplied unto you. And did they hang up? It ended up being another phone call. Oh, well, I called a different department because I was going to say to the person in the next department, who is over the phones? So when I called the next department, do you know that the same thing happened? So I decided to hang up and call the department I had been calling back. And do you know, after that, I got an answer. And the lady sounded like she was weary and tired. But she was so nice to me. And she helped me. But it took me 5 or 6 phone calls. It took me an introduction. It took me a song. It took me a prayer. It took me a continuation of a prayer. It took me calling a different extension. And it took me calling back that same number about 6 times for whoever to pick up. And I think I really, truly, honestly believe it was the same person that I had talked to all these times. And I didn't want to ask the lady how she was doing. I could tell that she was weary, but she was nice to me. And I had said ma'am to her, honey. She was saying ma'am to me. You know, just so nice. And I really believe that that was the person that was answering the phone call all those times. And I really believe that my prayer, that the words that I said, that how I handled it, and I'm going to tell you this last but not least, at the very end of the conversation before the phone call where the person answered, I asked God to help me to get service, and also for this person to be a witness to the type of God that I serve. Because the God that I serve today, I'm not talking about tomorrow, I'm not talking about yesterday. Today, he gave me a spirit of peace. I kept my peace. I wasn't upset. I wasn't disturbed, honey. I was just, okay, this is what it is today, and this is what we're going to do, and I'm going to keep calling. And I had my joy. I still have my joy. And I knew that this was maybe an assignment for me. Like, this is not a coincidence that I'm happen to be calling this company, this business, and talking to this person who is not answering right now. And my job is to do whatever God lead me to do. My job was to talk. My job was to sing. My job was to pray for this person. And last but not least, God answered my prayer. Hallelujah. And God's job, I can't say it was his job, but he did his job. He didn't have to, but he's that type of God. So I asked God to allow that person to get to know him, because he's the type of God that gave me peace in this circumstance. All these calls I was making, they gave me peace, they gave me joy, and that person on the other end was a witness. So let this be a witness to you today. I can't say how I will respond tomorrow, or how I may have responded to something like this on yesterday, but just this day, hallelujah, just today, that was a strange thing, and that was how God allowed me to handle it. That was not my other test for today. And so I want to end on this note. I don't know how many other tests I'm going to have today, but I hope I flunked the first one with flying colors. But you be blessed. God bless you, and let this be a witness unto you. Thank you for watching my videos.